Today we're doing Degrassi Need You Now Part 2. Okay, so Eli tells Adam that Imogen never returned his call, like when he called a billion times, and Adam is like, just be calm. And so Eli goes and talks to Imogen, and she lies about why she wasn't home, and Eli like stays calm, but he tells Adam that she totally lied, and Adam's like, I'm sure it's no big deal. Like, calm yourself. And so in class, Imogen talks to Jake like right before class for like a millisecond. And Eli's like, I didn't know you were friends with Jake. And Imogen's like, yeah, no big deal. And Eli's like, okay. And Imogen is like, it's nothing. And Eli's like, I said okay. And Imogen's like, maybe we should go talk. And then she's like, well, I already have plans tonight. And Eli's like, with Jake? And Imogen's like, no, it's a girls' night. Calm yourself down. It's not a big deal. And Eli's like, that's cool. It's cool we're dating. Doesn't mean we have to be together all the time. And so later, Eli and Adam go get the guitar back. But Eli says he still wants to replace her camera. And then he tells Adam that he thinks Imogen's cheating with Jake. And then they decide to go, well, no, Eli decides to go spy on her. So they go to Fiona's house, and, like, they go into Fiona's window, and, like, you hear Imogen talking to Fiona about how she's been staying there, like, going there a lot, because she's afraid that Eli's having an episode, and she, like, just keeps saying the wrong thing. And so then when they hear the window creak when Eli and Adam break in, they freak out, and everyone's all scared, and then they're like, it's just Eli and Adam, okay, no big deal. And Imogen's like, why were you spying on us? And Eli like, this isn't manic. And Imogen's like, everything I say is wrong. And Eli's like, every time I have an emotion, you try to talk me down. And Imogen's like, I'm just worried. And Eli turns to Adam and is like, tell her I'm fine. And Adam's like, maybe we should just leave and let them have their night. And Eli's like, all of you go to hell. Like, alright, calm the fuck down. So he goes home, and he wants to get rid of everything that reminds him of Imogen. And his dad comes in, Bullfrog, and is like, what are you doing? And Eli's like, I'm getting rid of everything that reminds me of Imogen. And his dad's like, I hate to say this, but are you taking your pills? And Eli's like, yeah, I'm doing everything the doctor said I'm doing. And his dad's like, well, something's wrong. Eli's like, I'm fine. And his dad's like, this isn't fine. Eli's like, I know, I don't get it. And his dad's like, I'll call the doctor. So then Eli goes to the doctor, and he, like, explains the situation. He's like, maybe my dad's right. Maybe I shouldn't have a girlfriend right now. And she's like, everything's fine. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. This is just typical teenage hormones. Heartbreak happens. You gotta learn to deal with it. And so then Eli and Imogen meet at the dot, and she's like, she says that she withdrew the art picture of Eli from the contest, and he's like, I'm sorry for everything. And she's like, I spent a year wishing to be with you, and now that I am, I realize there's a lot I don't know about you. And I don't think we fit together. We shouldn't date. And he's like, well, we were good together as friends, or did I mess that up too? And then it was black, and later Eli's dad comes in to his bedroom. He's like, I'm not supposed to stop you from dating. Eli's like, it doesn't matter, I'm very single. And his dad's like, well, someone's here. So Imogen walks in, and Eli tells her that he sent the picture into the little competition thing. And Imogen's like, oh, we want to get food? And Eli's like, yeah, cool. She's like, as friends. And he's like, yeah, right. And he's like, I need to take a shower. And she's like, okay, take a shower. And he's like, all right, I just gotta get changed. She's like, I'll leave you to get naked. And he's like, well, since we're friends, it shouldn't matter. And she's like, ha, funny. And then she leaves. While all this is happening, so Casey in, like, science class starts talking to Connor really loudly about Tyson, and so that Jenna can hear. And he's like, all mean to Jenna, pretty much. He's just being a jerk. And Jenna's like, you never helped before. That's why we gave up for adoption. And Casey's like, I'm making up for it now. You're so selfish. We're his parents, all this stuff. And Jenna's like, we're not his parents anymore. We need to get out of his life and let his new parents parent him. And it's super awkward because the whole class, like, looks around, and the teacher's like, just do your work. And so Casey goes to see the new family, but they're leaving. And Casey's like, I'll go with you. And they're like, no. We'll call you when we want to see you. Awkward. Very awkward. And so Casey wants to get a lawyer so that he has visitation rights and stuff. And his mom's like, no, you'll see them a couple times a year like they said. Everything will be fine. You don't need to be a bigger part of his life. Like, he just let him grow up the way he's supposed to grow up. And Casey's afraid that if he's not a bigger part of Ty's life, then Ty will see him the same way that Jenna sees him, as a quitter. And his mom's like, you can be anyone you want to be. Like, you have so much potential. You just want to be a doctor. Like, you could be a lot. And Casey apologizes to Jenna the next day about how he was a dick when she wanted adoption. But it was the right thing, and he admits that. And then she's like, I don't know when I'll be ready to see him. And Casey's like, alright. And then the teacher calls him up and is like, you're the only one in the whole class who got this question right on your homework. And Casey's like, oh, cool. Then he joins the science Olympics, and yeah. So there's that. Zig sees Tori in her mascot's uniform and is like, this is a total jerk of a boyfriend. Like, I don't like him. Like, I just don't. He's a jerk. And she was like, it's no big deal. Everyone will forget that I was mascot soon enough. And he's like, no, they won't. And then he won't support her at something that she has to do because he's going to be skating with the guys. And he can't ditch them, or they'll make fun of him for spending more time with his girlfriend or something. And just like, you're a terrible boyfriend. You're just a really bad boyfriend. Anyway, Tori then tells Maya later that why she was late to practice and everything. And she's like, it's no big deal. He would do the same for me. And Maya's like, obviously not. Like, if he did, then he would be here. Skating is obviously a priority to him over you and your cheerleading. And Tori's like, you're wrong. You're just jealous because you don't have a boyfriend. And I do. And Maya's like, that must be it for sure. As long as you're happy. And then Tori's like, I'm not happy. So then later in class, Tori tells Zig to come to the football game with her. And he's like, I don't like football games. I don't want to. And she's like, why not? Why won't you do this for me? And he's like, it's not a big deal. And she's like, yeah, it is. I was late because of you. And he's like, I didn't make you. And she's like, yeah, but I wanted to sacrifice something of mine because I knew it was important to you, and you won't do anything for me. And he's like, fine, I'll go. And she's like, don't bother. And then he looks all guilty. And I'm like, he said he'd go. Why did you walk away, you stupid whore? So then Tori's about to leave for the game, and Marisol comes up to her and is like, put on your cheerleading uniform. You can cheer with us. And Tori's like, what? And then Marisol's like, yeah, some Niner boy took over the mascot. And Tori's like, what? And then Zig comes up in the mascot. And I'm like, aw, maybe he's not that bad. Because that was kind of a little cute. Gotta admit. And Tori's like, this can't be like a one-time nice thing to get me on the good side. This has to, like, you always have to support me. And I always have to support you. This can't just be right now. And Zig's like, I know, I'll try harder. And she's like, okay. And then they joke a little bit. And then that's it. Until next week, when there's another episode. Well, comment, subscribe, like, all this fancy shiz. Yeah, I will see you next Thursday. Thanks for watching. How do you stop recording on this thing?